Marlena, we are back for episode 3 of a really cool series about how to choose a career that is right for you. We get caught up in the job search, or we're so overwhelmed, or maybe we don't even take a second to think what career is really right for me. And we're working through something that you've put together, a really comprehensive step-by-step process in figuring out a career that is right for you. And today we're going to start looking outward by making a list of jobs to explore. Talk to me about that, Marlena.
So another thing that I've done, again, this comes from a lot of personal experience, trial and error. So you really don't know what you want until you start looking at some things, right? So when you're looking at these jobs on all these different platforms, social media, whatever it is, whatever your choice is, look at what's out there because it's so much. And when you're sitting down and you're taking those items that we talked about in the earlier episodes, our values and our soft skills and technical skills, I'm putting all of that into play. Now you got to take a look, okay, what jobs will match up with what I have to offer? Because when you look at some of the job descriptions, they're so technical and so wordy with organizational jargon. I ain't applying for that. I don't want that.
Yeah. Or sometimes they're ambiguous. You can't, it sounds like
it's turn off.
Yeah, it sounds like it fits you maybe, and it can be confusing, but it can also be a turnoff because it doesn't really connect with you, because everybody wants a good team player and everybody wants. I get that. But I need something to speak to me.
Exactly. It's like when you're searching for a mate. You know your type. Well, it's the same with a job. What's your type? What type of environment do you want to be in? Do you like that busy hustle and bustle? Or do you want something that's a little more quiet, a little more laid back? Do you want something where have a more inviting team environment where you can collaborate and ideas are going across the room? Or do you need to be secluded? All of that matters. And some of these items are listed right in the job description. So research that. That's when we get into the next episode with your resume again. We talked about it before in a few episodes ago, but this is how you're going to match up with some of the items you need to put in your resume.
Yep.
So that way, when you're applying for that job, that's how you link up. And then you got to identify jobs that you enjoy. It's okay to really look at it and say, that sounds fun. I want to apply for that job, because in our mind, we've been raised to think, no, you just need to get a job where you can support yourself and support your family, feed your family, all of that. But nobody ever said it's okay to have fun. Look at that. You may want to go to Disney and apply for their job at Disney because you think it's going to be a lot of fun. That's also important to you, and that can fall in that bucket of those values. Do you want to go to work where you're happy and you can just have a good time? It's okay to do that, but you need to look at that, and you need to be able to break that down and articulate that with an employer. So when they ask you at the end of an interview, if you have that opportunity, so do you have a couple of questions for us? These are questions you can pull out of there. What do you do as far as employee engagement? What are you doing to make sure you're building a positive culture within the workplace?
Yep.
Do you get your birthday off? Thank you, Bay Area Chamber. Do you have those opportunities where you're able to say, hey, we're going to give you community service days because that's part of my values that is important to me. I want to make sure that I still have that opportunity to give back. Are employers looking at that? And some employers are out there that say, you know what? Yes. You don't even have to use your vacation time for that. Guess what? We have community service days because of the fact we want you to give back. Because what that's doing is getting that employer's name out there to say, you know what? They give back to this community.
Yeah, and it really goes to that point, back to our job interview episode for job seekers, in that job seekers, you are also interviewing your employers.
Yes.
So you need to make them convince you this job is right for you. And if you go in and you've done this self-assessment, you've identified these values and your non-negotiables, the things that you need.
Yes.
When you say something like, how would you describe your workplace to that, or your work environment to that employer? And they're like, honestly, we have probably the most fun workplace environment in the entire state. Let
Yes.
me tell you why. And they list off all of these things and
Yes.
the people that they love. Sandy's been here for 30 years and she's always bringing in Disney movies to watch after 4 p.m. This
Yeah.
crazy stuff. That's going to swoon. You're going to swoon after
Yes.
an employer like that. Oh, you are speaking my language.
Yes, you're
And
talking to me.
And now you're having a real conversation because you're talking about something that you value.
Exactly.
And on the flip side of that, if you ask them a question like that and you say, describe your workplace environment, and they don't do a good job of convincing you that's a place for you,
That's a sign.
that's a sign. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a sign to not pursue that job.
Yeah.
But combined with how you're feeling and how the rest of the interview went and what you've researched, that could be a time where you save yourself and the employer a lot of trouble by leaving and saying, it sounds like this position is not the right one for me. Wish you the best of luck. And now you have the time to go find the one that works.
You can respectfully decline.
Absolutely.
And I saved this one for last, although I have it first. Use your network. Use your network. And what do I mean by that? We have friends, we have family, we have previous colleagues that we worked with. If you're thinking about a particular industry and you know someone in that industry, have a real transparent conversation with them. If they're willing to talk with you, use that network. That's one of the most awesome things that we have just as far as this as a community. You're volunteering, you're working somewhere. Someone can speak to, okay, I know what this employer is about. I know that they give back. Or I know that heard about the culture and the company culture is so good that I think this is going to fit in with your personality and it's going to groove with what you want.
Yep.
You need to talk to people.
Yep.
If you don't have those open conversations, guess what? You don't know. It's part of your research. It's part of you building up that box of ammunition, not in a bad way, but to get a better understanding as to what it is that you could possibly be getting into.
Yeah. One, not only does that open up your eyes to what might be possible, two, it opens up doors to possibility.
Absolutely.
Because you go to your friend and say, hey, what do you think about where you work? Do you think I would fit in there? Oh, I've been wanting to talk to you about this for a year. I think you would fit in so great. Let me talk to Chad or Susie, the boss.
Absolutely.
And I could just let me know and I'll set something up. And now, honestly, it sounds like at that point, you don't really have to have a job interview because you've got somebody vetting
For you. Yes.
and saying, hey, they would be a great fit. And employers want that because one of the great fears of an employer is, I don't really know this person. I don't know if I can trust them. Yes, I have their resume. Yes, I have their interview.
Yes.
But that's not really enough
That
to know
doesn't give
somebody.
you any information.
But if I have somebody that I trust, say,
Yes.
you can absolutely trust this person, I think there would be a fantastic addition.
Yes.
Any red-blooded employer is going to say, okay, let's get them in here.
Yeah.
And I do want to also add there too is talking into your network, sometimes even just asking people like, hey, I'm struggling a little bit with where I'm at right now, trying to think
Yes.
about a career. What do you see me doing?
Oh, that's a good one.
And I
That's a
can
good
count
one.
on two hands 10 people that in their life said, hey, I think you would be a great, and caught them totally off guard. They had never thought about that before, but they pursued it, and now they're in the career for the rest of their lives because it connected with them somewhere. So sometimes the best way to see your values and see where you fit is through the
Just
lens of
ask others.
somebody else who's, I love seeing you work with kids, or I love seeing you work with the elderly, or man, you have the way to just like diffuse arguments and work with people. Maybe
Yes.
this, or it's just such an irreplaceable tool.
You know what? You are absolutely right, because it's funny that I was just having a conversation with a friend the other day, and he's in education. And I was just talking about my son loves kids, and I just watch how he works with kids, which actually changed his mind as far as going from physical therapy to elementary education and being a male that's going into education.
Very cool.
And he was like, oh, guess what? I can get him in right now for a job shadow. Does he have an hour every day after school? Just those conversations, those holistic conversations, you never know where it's going to take you. So thank you for bringing up that point.
Yeah,
Phil.
you never know where that network could take you. Don't go into your search thinking that you are living in a vacuum.
Exactly.
Because you are not. Even if it's a single relative,
Yes.
they can help you in some capacity. Even if it's like, Mom, what did you want me to be when I grew up? Maybe now you're older and you can have that
Yes.
conversation without any sort of bitterness.
Yes.
But you're not in this alone. Get
Yeah.
some kind of help, get some kind of feedback, talk to your people. And even if that one person you talk to doesn't lead you directly to your career, it can open up the door to 2 steps down the road where you finally find your niche. Like maybe
Yes.
it's the door opening to healthcare. And you go into one position and you know you're in the right ballpark, but not
Yes.
quite the right position. Now that opens you up to other people also in that field and open up the next door. And now maybe 2 years down the road, you find your forever job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I will say this just to recap: talk, talk, talk,
Mm-hmm.
talk, talk, talk. This is where communication comes in handy so much. And guess what? Even whether you're introverted or extroverted, talk to people you trust, and they're going to tell you, and it's going to help you, because all it's going to do is, again, is give you some more ammunition to put in that bag. Say, I can do this, and it helps build confidence.
Heck yeah. Just to recap, our searching for the career that's right for you. Step 1, your self-assessment, your key values, your soft skills, your technical skills. From there, you identify your must-haves. What do I absolutely need this position to have? What do I really want it to have, but I'm willing to compromise on? What would be icing on the cake I could give up if they say no? Then we're into today's subject, where you make a list of jobs to explore. Number 1, tap into that network.
Yes.
Whether it's professionally or personally, tap into other people. You're not a job seeker in a vacuum. Identify jobs that you enjoy. Go through your head and I think I could like that. I think I could like that. That could be fun.
Yes.
Maybe that's not fun, but it's a strong value that I have, with passion. I feel driven towards that. And then, of course, listing your goals and your values to say, does this position line up with this? Am I thinking this is fun, but it doesn't really line up? Or is this a perfect fit?
Yep.
Man, what a great start to searching for the career path that's right for you. So much more to go. In our next episode, we're going to talk about researching the jobs and employers. We've just kind of created a little bank of possibilities here. And now we're going to talk about how to really dig into those possibilities and figure out, okay, am I willing to pursue this one a little bit further, take it a little bit more seriously? So looking forward to that episode. But in the meantime, check out heybaycity.com. We've got all our podcasts there, all our stories there, community information there, and a job board where you as a job seeker can apply directly to any Bay County job that's posted there. If you are a Bay County employer, you can post your open positions there. And if you are a job seeker and you're like,
I don't know.
I don't know, nothing really fits something that I'm looking for, you can upload your resume, goes directly to Marlena, and she will help you find a job. A super mega ultra perfect utility tool blessing we have here in Hay Bay
Come
City.
to me.
Yes, come to us. We are here to help you people. heybaycity.com. Check it out,
Yes.
and stay tuned for that next episode. So once again, thank you so much, Marlena.
Thanks, Phil.